And I always say, yeah, I want to be satisfied with what I'm doing. Because whether it's 10 people showing up or 30 people showing up or 1,000 people showing up, it's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
and I'm
for
always
sure.
standing on that. Because, yeah, like, we the same sign. So.
We're going to keep going back to that, too.
Yeah, we gonna, you know.
We're going to keep going back to that.
What y'all think about Libras then? Because I'm a Libra.
Y'all cool.
We cool?
You know what? I got a rising.
That's my rising sign.
So why it's hard to keep it real? You praying that I flop. You already know I ain't think about you. Look, ain't never give you your roses till you pushing up daisies. Could make a play off the props a few people never gave me. They love to see you struggle, be there for you, say they love you. Deep inside they praying that you never ball, stay in the bubble. I peep it all, this my season.
Y'all both singers, y'all both write music. So growing up, what were some of the influences that y'all had that made y'all want to make music?
I would say musically, my biggest influences, definitely Lauryn Hill, which is why I sing and rap and write and all that. And then Jay-Z, Kanye, I love Lil Wayne growing up. And then for like, I guess older singers that I grew up listening to, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Anita Ward, Anita Baker. It's really a long list for me. Like it's so many people for sure. But my top three that like you can see influence me would definitely be Jay-Z, Kanye, and Lauryn Hill.
As for me, I think like growing up, I listened to artists like Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, like she said. Of course, they're legends. I spent a lot of time listening to like Bobby Womack and a lot of the early artists, and I think I was more interested in writing songs first. I kind of started in that space, and I always liked how the feeling, you know, that draws you in, you know, with music and the frequency is on. Like I always listen to music for the story, and I think Anita Baker, Aretha Franklin, and also one of the things that inspired me beyond just what artists I looked up to, because I'm more of a fan of the art itself, because I was very well-rounded, I think, as a kid, because my mom was in a band. So she had me listening to rock, she had me listening to country,
everything.
She had me listening, you know, to Shania Twain,
That's how I grew up, yeah.
And so I had a lot of, I always respected the art of being able to tell a story and have impact on people through music.
Yeah.
So I think that's what made me want to get into music, because I knew how strong and how powerful it was, you know, and how it moved people. And I said, dang, I wanna make people feel good and happy and inspire people through song and just share my gift with the world. And I always thought that was a really powerful thing. So.
As artists, were y'all always like confident in yourself from the start, or was it something that y'all had to build over time?
Oh God, no.
I'm opposite.
So you always had it.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. My mom, to this day, like my mama will call me while she at work, and she'll have me on speakerphone. All her coworkers be around. She'll be like, sing da-da-da-da real quick. Let so-and-so hear you. So she's just always been that way. My whole family will put me on the spot. Like my cousin, he'll bribe me. He'll be like, I'll give you $5 if you go in there and sing blah, blah, blah. So I kind of had to have that confidence, because early on, like, I don't ever remember not being confident enough to get in front of people and sing. It's other things that I didn't like to do in front of people. Like, if you want me to do an Easter speech, I probably don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But like, as far as like singing, like, or anything musically, I never had the jitters with that. Also, my mom can sing, and I grew up watching my mom sing in different spaces, and she always had it, so she always instilled it in me. Like I said, my cousins on my dad's side, battle rappers and shit like that, so I grew up around it. Like, and it was just always there. I never felt scared. I was never nervous. I did school plays, everything. I've never, I might have a nerve right before I get on stage, but as soon as I get on there, like all of it goes away. Like I'm in my zone. That's my safe space.
Well, I know I said the total opposite, but like I'm nervous even like it's just I think it's just something in me. Like when it's time to, and I've always been like that. And friends would tell me, "You surprise me," because before you like a total different person, and then it's like showtime. I'm like it's like, but that is. I know I love it. I know I got a passion for it. I know it's what I want to do. And it's like, you can slip in now. Because I'm like, my stomach, and what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What if I forget my words? And blah, 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 blah. And what if they don't like it? And then I go on stage and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, boom. And I'm in it. Like, once I'm in the moments, I'm in the moments. But it's always like, I was a quiet kid. And I think, like, that hasn't changed. And I always ask, like, can you be an extrovert and an introvert at the same time? Because it's like, I love being around people, but, like,
You can.
I gotta go around
Be an
these
extrovert,
people, and I
introvert.
gotta be this. And I think over time, like she said, like, she was always confident. I had to work my way up to really dig in deep and saying, okay, who am I? Do I want to do this? Is this me? And getting just comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
And I think, like, even now, some situations I go into, I'm like, yeah, I got this. And some situations I'm like, I don't know if I got this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to have it because I got to go in. I got to do what I need to do.
I think I could even go as far as saying, like, part of the reason why I've never been nervous when it comes to, like, music stuff and getting in front of people and doing anything musically is because I was very timid growing up. Like, I didn't speak up for myself a lot. I didn't say a lot. I let people treat me any kind of way,
Like
walk all over me
non-confrontational.
and stuff like that. And music was the one way I had a voice. Like, I know if I sing or I know if I rap or I know if I do whatever in front of y'all that has anything to do with music, everybody gonna shut up and listen to what I gotta say. And so that's kind of like, I think that's part of the reason why I've never been nervous about it. That kind of music gave me confidence to have that voice that I needed for myself, which is why I also got into writing, so I could say what I wanted to say.
Music give you confidence in all other aspects. Of,
Yeah.
like who you are.
Yeah, definitely I would say definitely the rap side of myself for sure. Cause that's like, I always say like, that's the version of me when I'm like mad and when I really want to go off and I'm trying to talk my shit, I want to pop my shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's that version of me. And then my R&B side is like the more vulnerable and like timid and like, oh, I need to get these feelings and emotions out. And the rap side of me is like, the rap side of me is like, fuck your feelings. Like, oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's what I need. I'm too soft.
But I feel
Yeah,
like
just start rapping.
I don't know, because you got
I need to get my rap side. That's my alter ego. I need to tap
I
in.
kind of get that feeling when I listen to Grimy though.
But that's what I was saying earlier. Like, really digging into that space. Because I don't know, people be like, oh my gosh, she's talking. I don't want to curse, but I'm like, she's talking shit. And they be like so surprised by it, That, ooh, what? You an R&B singer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I need a rap side. I need to tap into my rap version.
Like I always wondered, like, as musical artists, are y'all ever like selfish with y'all music?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Now y'all can't hear this. Right. Wait a minute. It's coming. Hold on.
This project I just dropped, them songs was done in 2019 or 2020.
Oh my God, I thought I was the only person that don't know my music like that. So,
Them songs was done in 2019 or 2020. I decided to drop them songs so people would leave me alone. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be dropping this project and let me give y'all, listen, this gonna sound real bad. I really don't be caring what other people want. When I'm in my space and I wanna do what I wanna do, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. That's musically or whatever. I really don't be caring what other people wanna hear. But there are so many people, I had to stop being selfish for a minute and be like, you know what, it's so many people that are reaching out to me like, yo, when can we get this? When are you dropping this? When you gonna drop something else? For me, it's just a release for me. Once I'm done with it, and I give it to the world, I don't care about it no more. I really don't go back and listen to my songs after they're out. I don't go back and listen to anything that I put out. So when other people hear it, I be like, bro, I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good on it. And when other people be wanting stuff out of me, I just be like, I'm going to give it to y'all when I feel like it. But I'm trying to step out of that because it is a very selfish way of being.
I mean, but it is your art, I think. Like,
It is.
I don't know, it's kind of hard sometimes putting your art out there because you don't want people to be able to critique what you feel. Like, my feeling is my feeling. You shouldn't comment on what I put out. That's something I created. You know what I'm saying? But when you put yourself out there, I feel like that's the most vulnerable part about being an artist. You have to be prepared to be in a space where people might be like, oh, you know, I don't really, you know, because people they're going to dumb down the thought because they didn't create it. They didn't spend hours. They weren't going through the things you went through when you created, so they're not going to appreciate it like you do. So they're going to be like, yeah, well, you know, I really don't like that song. I really like this song. And you might be like sometimes like, that was trash. Because we don't always like everything we do.
Listen,
And
that's what I was just about to
that,
say.
You like that terrible song.
I was just about to say that. I think one of the things that made me stop putting stuff out too, I had posted a snippet of a song on Twitter just to see how people would respond to it. And everybody is just like, oh, I love that. And it was some BS. Like, it was terrible. And I'm just like, you know what? Y'all
don't respect the process. Y'all don't respect me. Use it. People want to hear something. And I just feel like, and that's why when I was talking about grinding earlier, I really felt that record, and I was like, okay, I really like this space. I think it's something women want to hear. And, you know, it's got that like talking your stuff and standing on your business and knowing what you want and knowing your worth. And I feel like I was in the space when I wrote that record. I was actually feeling it. But sometimes people like the stuff that I really didn't put them.
People love the stuff that you hate. That'd be my, oh my God.
It took me like 30 minutes to write. Like, y'all like that? That was like nothing to me.
People like, put that out. I'm like, that ain't even, if y'all think that's good, y'all ain't even heard what I really, really got. And then when you put the stuff out you really want to put out, it's like, okay, I mean, we still want that other song though.
And then, like you said, people expect more of that. Like you were saying, they make another one of those. And you be like, I'm over that part of it.
Yeah.
I'm bored already. Like, once I drop something or I put something out, it's like, I'm in the next. I'm trying to be on the next
Number
thing.
one, because you probably been listening to that song for a year before you even put it out. Like,
Probably played it like 50 times.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, it gets cringy, for real.
Yeah, I get around my friends. Listen, I get around my friends, and they'll start playing my songs. I'll be like, turn it off.
But they be,
I don't want to hear it.
I'm just like, I'm right here. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I sound. Y'all don't gotta listen to my
Please
music.
turn it off.
Like, I'm y'all friend.
So that's how you was when you came in, or how y'all was when y'all came in? Cause
Yeah, as soon as I walked in and I heard my song, I didn't say nothing because I don't want to be rude. But I'm just like, bro, I don't want to hear this song.
But I get it. It was like kind of set the vibe.
Yeah.
I have grown to listen to myself. It took me a minute because I used to be like, we finna play. Pull up your music so we can play it. I'm like, y'all want to play this when I leave? You know, play this when I'm gone.
Like, just play
But they want to sit there and listen to it and look at me.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
I like this. You like, thank you. So yeah,
My skin be crawling. I'm just like, oh, turn it off.
Am I confusing? You got me feeling like I'm living in delusion. Thought we was on the same page, you be using me. It's my fault, I let you in, knowing my wounds were still open. I fell too fast, from the beginning I could tell it wouldn't last. How every last time turned into the last. It's been months and we still can't move past it. Make up to make love, then crash again. You fuck a bitch and say sorry like it's an accident.
I feel like nowadays it's pushed for you to make what's gonna get you the clout or the fame, and not a lot of people are making art from a real place, you know, off of real experiences that they've been through or whatever. And I feel like we mentioned your project earlier, and I feel like that's what stood out to me about it. I ain't saying that everything on there was like your real experience, but it felt like it was inspired from a real place.
Oh yeah, for sure. That project I would say came from my personal experiences and like my friends and stuff too. Like I try to weave my friends' experiences, like things that they tell me, into my songs without just spilling their whole business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like trying to make it artsy and creative, but still telling their story. Because I get inspired by so many things. Like I probably owe them some money, but hey. I probably owe some of my friends some money for real. I'm also good at this. Like I could write a song about 3 different people, and it'll trigger one person. Like it has the power to trigger one person, and they just think the whole thing is about them. I think that's the beautiful thing about music. Like it'd be so funny to me. I love that.
So you had your bonus track on there, 18.
That's probably the most vulnerable I've ever been with music, period. It's easy for me to talk about my relationships with other people. Like I could talk about this guy did this to me, or one of my friends did this to me, or whatever. But when it comes to talking about things that I deal with internally, that's a lot harder for me to speak about, because it's just like, this is in my head all day. I don't have to tell everybody this. I don't have to pour this out.
Like you live with it.
Yeah, I live with it. I was so hesitant to release that song because it was just like, I'm saying so much about things that I've gone through, and it's nothing that I haven't talked about. Like my friends know this stuff about me, my parents know, but it's like once it gets released in this form, then everybody got access to it. I can't control who hears it and who don't. The people closest to me know this stuff, but like the year of 2018 was really, really rough for me. That whole year, nobody knew. My friends, my family, nobody knew I was living out of my car that whole year. Like I was working 3 jobs and I lived in my car that whole year. I tried to commit suicide. I was in an abusive relationship that year. Like it was a lot of stuff that I was going through. And I put it at the end on purpose because that song is the most authentic out of every song on that project. It's the most authentic version of myself. It is 100% just me through and through. And I wanted people to take that, and I put it at the end so people could understand, like, this is what's to come. Like, it's at the end of this right now. This is the end of a chapter for this project. Y'all heard all of this, and that's the end of this. We're moving on to what's really me.
So how has your emotional state like grown from then to where you are now?
The fact that I can talk about it has grown a lot. Because I used to get like real, I would say I would get defensive if people asked me questions about what I was going through. If I felt any type of, my first emotion is always anger. It always has been anger, but I'm really sensitive as hell. Like, and I cry about so much stuff, but the first thing I revert to is anger.
Was that what you felt the most in 2018, was it anger?
Yeah. Mad at myself.
Why you said that?
Because I was just being closed off toward everybody. Like, I wasn't letting people in. I wouldn't let anybody help me, but I was also mad at everybody else. I was mad that my friends didn't recognize what I was going through. They couldn't see that I was different, that I was changing, that I wasn't myself. I was upset with them for not recognizing what was going on with me, but I also wasn't. It was a very selfish way of thinking, because you expect people around you to be like, oh, what's going on with you? But everybody has a life of their own. It ain't about you all the time. You don't know what people are going through, and you could feel like what you're going through is the worst of the worst, but you don't know what the next person is going through either. And so I was angry with them, and then I rationalized it, and I'm like, that's weird as hell for me to be mad at them, and I ain't even told them what I'm going through. They probably think I'm good because I'm acting like I'm okay, but I'm not okay. I was mad at my parents, and they was mad at me when they found out what was going on. Like, so it was a lot. It was a lot. I always tell myself, like, whatever I go through now, it can't be no worse than that. I feel like literally that was like the lowest point for me, because I was done. Like, I was ready to give up on life in general. Like, I was done. And I'm like, you can't get no lower than that. I joke about this all the time, and my friends don't think this shit is funny at all. But I went to downtown Little Rock, and I was about to jump off the bridge. There was a lady out there. I was crying. I was on the bridge. I'm about to jump off, and there was a lady out there, and she kind of just talked me down. And I met my mom in the ambulance. We all went to the hospital, everything. My parents met me at the hospital. They were just in shambles. And so my stepdad, he doesn't really know how to deal with like tough situations. He's more of like a let's make light of the situation. So he was like, why you didn't jump? And my mama was pissed that he asked me that. He was like, why you didn't jump? I was like, I don't know. And he was like, I'll tell you why you didn't jump. You can't swim. He was like, you knew you couldn't swim, so you didn't want to jump off that damn bridge for real. And it was so funny. Like, it made light of the situation. But it did make sense. Like, I got up there and I was scared as hell. Like, I'm just like, this crazy. Like, I feel like I want to do this right now, but at the same time, I also thought about the fact that the people that I'm going to leave here to deal with that. My mom, that's my number one person. I tell anybody that my mama is my sun, moon, and stars. If I was to leave her here like that, in pain like that, you know, that's devastating for me. And I wouldn't be here anymore to deal with that, but she would have to go on and deal with that. My siblings, my dad, everybody, my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, leaving them here with that type of grief definitely affected me in that moment. It all started rushing to me right there. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I can talk about it now.
That's good. It's strengthened, like, telling the story. I feel like when it comes to people and hearing it, I think you definitely would inspire somebody with that message.
I hope so.
You released your debut album in 2020.
Yeah, you did.
And so it's been, almost 4 years from then. How do you feel about the album now versus how you felt when you put it out?
I was under an insane amount of pressure because being like the first artist to come out of the label and having all those people on your back and having to represent so many different things. Like, I had a lot going on like during that time. I lost a lot of the support I had at the label. I had to, I guess in a way it felt to me like when people trying to sabotage you like in real life and stop you from getting things done. So everything I was trying to do at the time was failing. Everything was failing.
Yeah.
I was, you know, people were being manipulated to stop working with me to go work with other people. And it wasn't because they had beef with me. You know, it was something in the air. I didn't know anything about it. I knew that as a woman, it was important for me to stand on my own 2 feet and say, I believe in this. This is what I want to do. And I didn't have the support because I wasn't willing to cooperate with what people wanted me to do. Because I knew, I said, that's not going to work for me. I had to deal with the people's dispersing and walking away. And I had to say, well, hey, I'm going to put this project together by myself. I wrote 80% of the project. I executive produced the project. I vocal produced myself. Every song, every beat, everything I picked. The people that were involved with it, from the engineer, the time I did that album over the corona. So I took songs that I had from back.
Yep.
I put it together. The team, the budgets, the creatives, everything was all on me. Even the feature I got Stevie Wonder, I got that free.
Yeah.
Like, the people think that, you know, you have a label behind you, then they must have paid for this, they must have paid for that. A lot of people don't know, like, being signed doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the marketing or the support, or they pay some money on creative, but at the end of the day, my song that I released, which I think wasn't on the album, is Lois Lane. That record did a lot for me. So everything that I put out after that was able to have legs to it because that song was carrying the process. Not because they put marketing.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like, you know, everything was good. And then when I started, hey, I'm good on it, we're not gonna do that. Okay, people like, okay, you don't wanna listen. We can't support that. Oh, we don't like those songs. We don't like that style for you. We want this style for you, but I want this style for myself. So I had to prove a point. I can get done. I can get shit done. You ain't gotta support me, cause I'm the talent. So I used my creativity. I didn't even have any people to really listen to the album. I picked the songs. I was like, I let my friends hear it. They said this dope, and I said, all right, put it on the project. This is how we gonna sequence it. And I just felt like it was time. Otherwise, I never would have put an album together. Cause I only had a single out, and then a couple of singles after that. But I knew it was time to drop an album. And I remember calling Steve Wonder, and I said, and I know him because we did a show when I first started. He was the very first show I did when I got signed. And I told him how inspirational it was meeting him. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna share a stage with you, and I'm so happy, and I'm just happy to be here, you know? And he was like, what's your name? And I told him my name, and he was like, okay. And then I left the stage. I'm getting ready before the show. And then I get a call, oh, Steve, we want to do a song with you. I said, well, I have no idea what I'm about to do. It's like, he want to do Shaka Khan, Sweet Thing. So I said, okay, cool, I know the first verse. He said, he wants you to do the second verse. I said, I don't know nothing about the second verse. I literally get to that song and only do the first verse, and I had to learn it. I had 15 minutes to learn. And it was like, and I got out there and everybody was like, I said, y'all, I'm gonna forget these words. And they're like, just follow Stevie. Just follow him. And everybody kept, it's gonna be okay, just follow Stevie. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? I'm finna get on stage with a legend.
Yeah.
And that was like how we met. The show ended up going good, and he didn't know the words either, so it went great.
Oh my God.
He was mumbling, girl. He was, and the people was like, yeah, you got and I was like, this is what they saying. Follow Stevie. I said, this man is so dope, he ain't gotta sing no more. So, when I called him about the album, and he said, well, who's helping you with the album? I said, nobody, I'm the boss. And I said, I'm executive producing my project, and I want you on a song. And I just went for it. He could have said no, you know what I'm saying? He could have, you know, but he was like, I see. Send it to me when you ready. I sent him 2 records. Now the first one was Switch Up out the album, and that was my favorite. But he was into Toxic, which was like more R&B, Afrobeats kind of vibe, and he likes Afrobeats music, so he's really trendy. He's really up to date on his music. So I didn't even think he would be into it. I thought it was too R&B hip hop for him. But he was like, oh, I like this. And I was like, well, can you play the harmonica? Because everybody gonna expect you to play the piano. So can you play the harmonica? And he went in and did it. And I was happy because I accomplished it on my own. So that meant, and I got it free. Like off of the fact that I have a relationship with him and he genuinely believed in me. So that album is always gonna be special for me. But I feel like I'm past it now. I'm trying to tap into my rap version, tap into my edge, get a little bit more edgy because I'm just so R&B and so, I kind of want to get a little edgy.
I don't want no haters, only fans. If you worry about what I'm doing, you need to pay me then. If my name up in your mouth, you need to pay me then. If you're using me for clout, you need to pay me then. Only fans, fans only, only fans, only fans, fans only, only fans.
I'm more of a 90s, 2000s type of person, like with the vibe of the music. Because I just feel like that's the best era of music. What y'all think about the music today compared to past eras of music?
I always tell people like, should I be thinking this hard anymore? Like I put so much into like the art and hearing it sonically and the music and the story. And I'm like, I gotta say this, so it ain't gonna make no sense. But now
I'm 50-50 with the new music because I keep up with everything. I keep up. I make sure I keep up because I don't want to be behind. I don't want to seem like no.
be like, you
I don't want to seem like no hater. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh, like
you're
that.
not in the now.
Yeah, I keep up with everything. I keep up with everything. So like whatever my little cousins, my sisters, whatever they listening to, my little brother, like I give it a chance. I give them a hard time at first, but it's some stuff I actually be liking. I don't want to knock anyone's craft. Anybody who cares about their music and what they do, I don't want to knock them at all. I think the music industry itself is oversaturated. There's so many of so many. Like, there's so many of this artist. There's so many of this artist. There's so many of this artist. It's like a bunch of clones of everybody. And it becomes overwhelming and it's just too much. And everybody's sounding the same now and everything. So it becomes like, we just hear the same stuff all the time and it's not meaningful. But then those artists that are doing what they do and they love music and you can see their passion and they get overlooked. I don't like to discredit people for their music because everything is not for everybody, you know. And I also don't want to seem like I'm an old ass hater. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm a hater. Like, our grandparents felt the same way about our parents' music. Our parents feel the same way about our music. We feel the same way about the new generation music, and it's gonna go on and so forth. But where you keep your respect and where you stay up to date and where it's good to have understanding with the newer generation. Even if it ain't your cup of tea, like at least understand, like, you know, this it's just changing. Everything is changing, everything's evolving, nothing's gonna stay the same. So we gotta kind of get with the times.
Do y'all ever see yourself getting with a label again, or are y'all thinking about like staying
Under the right
independent?
circumstances.
Same.
If you sign to a label prematurely before you've had a chance to really make your buzz for yourself, it's not gonna matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Going into a label situation and demanding that you have ownership of your masters and publishing and shit like that, you're not even making no money for real from your music. Like, you're not making anything. So why are you even demanding that right now?
I feel the same
Make
way.
a buzz for
I feel
yourself.
the
Be the
same
best
way.
independent artist you can be. Take yourself to the absolute limit of where you can take yourself. Once you feel like I can't do anything else by myself, I've done everything I can do by myself. And I mean mentally, physically, emotionally, I mean numbers wise, I mean money wise, I mean fan base, I mean everything. Once you feel like you've gotten as far as you can get yourself, then I would say consider a label situation, because it's not bad, but you do want to go into a label situation with some control. You don't want to be in a position where you begging them or you trying to convince them that they need you. Because when you trying to convince somebody that they need you, like that's kind of like trying to make somebody fall in love with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do everything in the world, but if they don't have them feelings for you, it's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like having ownership over your masters and publishing and all of that is great, but if you don't have the basis of everything that you need, it ain't even gonna matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
I totally agree. Because like, if I can't be a priority, I ain't doing it. Like, if you ain't offering me at least $1 million when I sit down, it ain't no point of me sitting down with you.
Yeah.
Because the marketing, the money you get up front is gonna be the money you get. Like, they give you the money. And I know people they've had tour budget, but once you get that first amount gotta be hidden. Because if it ain't, like, a lot of people run through their initial money and then they can't even recoup what they on the back end. Because sometimes they double what you trying to recoup. So it's gotta be the right situation. Like, it's gotta be like tour budgets, money up front, and it's gotta be a good amount of money. I gotta own my masters, or at some point be able to get my masters or buy my masters back. Like, the fine print gotta.
If you ain't sold out no shows by yourself, you ain't packed out a venue, I just don't think you should even be sitting down with nobody to have that discussion. Because what's gonna happen to you is you're gonna get screwed. You're gonna go into a situation and you're gonna get screwed.
Automatically, you are not gonna be a priority. I know people that's got millions and millions of streams, and they not getting what they should be getting, what they feel like they should be getting, because there are artists who have more, and then even artists, some artists who don't even have more, they could just like them more than they like you.
That's another great thing about being independent. You get to be who you want to be as an artist, and you also get to keep all your money. Get you a manager, get you a photographer, videographer, just a solid team of 10
Because you
people.
can hire
maybe.
a lot of the same people that the labels will hire.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yes, it's a liaison.
I haven't been approached by like Hollywood or nothing like that, but I feel like my mindset is the same way as what y'all saying. Where it's more so I would rather be independent. Like if I ever do get the opportunity to have a show on HBO or Starz or Netflix or any of these places, that'll be cool. But I think this right here for like me to be starting out and like just trying to get myself to where I want to be, I feel like this is the way that I would rather do it.
Yeah.
Just independent.
Right.
And
Yeah, I feel that.
it's common that musical artists and just artists and entertainers in general, like they have multiple passions and things that they want to do and that they're interested in. So what are some of the things that y'all want to do outside of music?
Outside of music, working. I like to. I feel like in this industry, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I realized that a lot of artists have the music part down, but music is probably 90% business. Like everything you see is not about talent itself. You have to know how to monetize that talent. And a lot of artists, I feel like the reason why they starving artists and they don't have it is because they didn't develop that part of themselves, because they do it out of love. And then you put yourself in a position where you are owned by somebody because they see your talent, so they know how to monetize that talent. They know how to make money off of you. So then they take your passion and they turn it into money, but they don't turn it into money for you. They turn it into money for themselves. But you still be in the same place.
Yeah.
I was a part of the label where it was an independent, so a lot of the stuff early on, I was like, let me go. The meetings, even they had nothing to do with me finna do a song or some music. I was always at the table with label executives, like the heads of YouTube, the Warner Chappell, like the people that really make the money off of the music. They sit there, they listen to it, they judge the artist, they judge the material, they judge the quality, they tell them what they need to put out. Those people, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me sitting at Urban One and what's hot and what's not, and going in those rooms and seeing them people on them computers and looking at how they moving. And they are pushing the culture forward. They are creating the trends. That the artists create. Okay, so it's like the artist creates the trend, but they give you the plan to push what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
They tell you go do this, go do that, go do that. And a lot of these artists, that's why they have to have these full teams of people, because they can't market themselves.
Yeah.
And if you can market yourself, which some artists can, you'd be better off. So I started wanting to learn that for myself, and it feels good to help people. And even what I learned, like I might say, why don't you try this? Or meet somebody and say, try this and do this and do this and do this. And I'm telling myself that too, because I'm teaching myself, in real time. So, yeah.
More recently, I wanted to get into managing specifically female artists. And people get pissed when I say that because they be like, you an artist, you need to focus on your own music and da-da-da-da. But I say that because there are a lot of us. There are a lot of female artists. There are not a lot of females in high positions in the music industry. It's very male dominated when it comes to the business aspect of music. I wanted to get into managing younger female artists just to give them confidence and a voice for themselves if they want to get into this industry, because it's easy to be taken advantage of. It's so easy to be taken advantage of if you don't know who you are. Luckily, I got a good mama who don't play that shit. So, so I knew very early on, like, You don't go into a space and allow somebody to tell you what you're gonna do, and you don't allow people to change you from what you are, what you want to be. You can take input, you can take people's criticism, and you can choose to, do whatever you want with that, but don't let people change you. Don't let people make you.
Right.
You make yourself. Women need other women. And in the industry also, women are pit against each other.
Yeah.
It's like you either the best or you're not. And if you're not the best, or if somebody telling you the best, that get to your head and it's like, oh, I'm better than everybody else. I feel like when I say I'm the best, I genuinely believe that. I believe that I'm the best, but that don't mean I don't think anybody else is worse off than me, or I think you suck, or I think it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with me being my best self. Like, I wish we had more women in the industry who would speak up and be more supportive and genuinely supportive, because that'd be the thing. It'd be like the women empowerment and we here for you, but it don't be genuine.
Yeah.
Women who are real girls and really, really care about each other should support each other. And I feel like the reason why we don't have a voice in the industry like we should, and the reason why men are able to do the things that they do in the industry and get away with them is because we don't stick together. Yeah.
The mainstream way of doing things is kind of getting more or like less relevant. It's plenty of ways to make money. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, as artists on your own, learning the skills that you need, the marketing, sales, branding, like learning all those things. So you can now, as women, as artists, female artists, kind of put yourselves in position to just really control the narrative of like what y'all want to do and what y'all trying to build.
Because now it's like people expect you to make yourself hot anyway before they make an investment. You might as well teach stuff, and then you want to encourage. You want to be independent, because by the time you put in all that work, it's gonna be like, what you got for me?
Exactly.
Because I done already did all the work.
No, for real, I be telling people, like, the music industry now is just like the new hairstylists. Like, they want you to come with your hair washed, blow dried, cut. They want it straight already, and then I'm gonna braid your hair after you done did most of the work, and I'm gonna charge you $400 for it. Like, no, the music industry is the same way though. They want you to come as a total package, which is good in a sense. But a lot of people have the total package and then they end up losing that control once they're signed to a label, because it's like, ooh, we put this money in your face, so now you got to give us everything. Even though you came to us, you already had the following, you already had the buzz, you already had the streams, you already had the money you needed to do what you needed to do, but we're giving you more.
That's true.
So now we get to control what happens. I think it happens more often with women for sure than men, because when men are assertive, it's respected. When women are assertive, it's like, she got a nasty attitude, or she's not appreciative, or she's rude, or she's disrespectful.
She's hard to work. She's difficult.
She's hard to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just mocked, because it's like, she's difficult to work with because she has her own sound and actually has thoughts in her head. So if she's not, let's do that. You're not cooperative. Like, they have a sound that they want you to have, a look, songs that they want to give you. It's like, even if you want to sometimes even say, oh, well, I don't want to say that in my song. Oh, well, you should say that because the girls are singing this, and the girls are doing this, and the girls are wearing that. So that's why a majority of females look the same and sound the same and talk the same and act the same. Because, like you said, it's the male-dominated industry. You got men trying to tell women how to be women. Yeah. And men shouldn't be telling women.
That's going to go to a whole nother conversation.
Right. I'm right there. That's right. It's going to go there. I'm just saying,
So why it's hard to keep it real? You praying that
I genuinely believe that your gift is given to you by God, and it is specifically yours. Whatever you are able to do is specifically for you, and that is what you should do. I don't think that other people should take what other people are doing and try to mimic it, because it won't resonate the same. It won't feel the same. People notice when you trying to be something that you're not, when you're trying to be the next whoever, people notice. And it ends up biting them in the ass a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying?
I say every time.
Yeah.
You can't sustain it. if they do make it, I feel like being successful, they ain't never happy.
Somebody out there saying they made pen, you made pen. Well, okay then, so make another pen. If you did it once before, then you can do it once again. And if you can't, well then that's cool, but how about just don't speak on pen? Haters only hate because you got that something that they want, but I don't have a talent, I just put that work in that they want. I've been grinding on these bars, so I ain't had no time to flaunt. Haters mad, I won't acknowledge them, well now you got a song, it goes.